Okay, so many of you people know me as the guy who's J. Paul's friend. Well, actually, funnily enough, I have another musically famous friend, and his name is Michael Kiwanuka. Now, Michael Kiwanuka is from my village. Now, I'm a kind of musician guy, so I got hanging out with the musicy people, and they were friends with Michael Kiwanuka. Now, Michael Kiwanuka knows who I am because I was on the tube in London and he saw me on the tube. Now, he said, "All right, mate." And I was like, "All right, mate." And I knew that he did some music. I saw his MySpace. But I thought his style was a bit old-fashioned. You know, he does all the soul-y stuff. Sounds like music that you'd get on a vinyl in a second-hand vinyl store. Turns out, a lot of people like that. Turns out, he made an album with Danger Mouse, one of the best producers in the world, who actually made the song, produced the song by him and Gnarls Barkley. Crazy. Now, I remember when I heard that song Crazy, when I was a kid, my friend sent it to me, and we were into all this Stones Throw music, which is like the coolest hip-hop label ever, beats-wise, especially if you're a producer. So I listened to this song and I was totally blown away with it. I must have listened to it 100 times. I actually had it on repeat when I went to sleep, and I went to sleep and I woke up still listening to it. So anyway, turns out that that tune went to #1 and was like the biggest song ever in the world, ever. And I was like, guys, I love this song. And they were like, oh, really? So anyways, back to Michael Kiwanuka story. So I saw him on the tube and he was like, all right, mate. And I was like, all right, mate. And then we had a little chit chat. Don't know what we talked about. And then I went home and I was like, okay, I'm going to buy his album because, you know, he's my friend. So I bought his album from iTunes. Then I went back into the city. I went to Camden for like a gig or something. And I was listening to Michael Kiwanuka, my new Michael Kiwanuka album on the tube. And then I got off, went to the Wheelbarrow, which is a famous musical pub. I think it's just got shut down. But it's a fantastic pub. And guess who was there? Michael Kiwanuka. So, on that day, I met him on the tube, went home, bought his CD, then went back into town, saw him at the bar. And I call that story the Michael Kiwanuka sandwich. Michael Kiwanuka being the bread, and the juicy, delicious thing in the middle was his album. Now, that album was pretty decent. It was the album that brought him his success. But then, I was in Australia, in Gatton, which is near Brisbane. Actually, it's where I made the J. Paul is my friend video, which brought me a little bit of fame. But anyway, I was in the library because they had a nice little library, and I saw a CD, and it had Michael Kiwanuka's face on it, and I'll tell you why. Because it was Michael Kiwanuka's CD, and he'd made it from the little town of Muswell Hill, famous town for music. The Kinks were from there. But he'd made it from Muswell Hill, the little town of Muswell Hill, not so little, but anyway, all the way across to the other side of the world to a random library in which I was looking for CDs for my car that I'd purchased. And I was looking for CDs that I could listen to on the way back and forth to work. Now, actually, it's a great CD, and you should all buy it. It's the Michael Kiwanuka CD, and it's produced by MF Doom. No, sorry. It's produced by Danger Mouse, and it's quite a cool record. So I hope you found that story interesting. If it was fucking boring, just let me know. Or just, I don't know. Tell me to shut up in the comments. But if you liked it, tell me you liked it. Tell me you want more. More stories. More stories from the infamous Sauly B. 1, 2, 3. That's how we be. In the place to be. Feeling young, feeling free. I am a G. Pod to the P. Energy. ABC. Alabala B. Touching my knee. I can see. Is it a big